for the best coverage of the Jazz, Utes, and Cougars is right here on The Zone. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome back in, JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Jeremiah Jensen, Sly Sylvester sitting in for Alex Kirry, who's still enjoying his holiday break. But there's no break in the sports world. Things keep going. Lots going on today. And it's not just college football. It's not just the transfer portal. You got the NHL going as well.
Oh, yeah.
And what a day for the Utah Mammoth yesterday. We're going to get into that right now. Head coach André Tourigny about to join us. That is the cut at 4 o'clock.
Your exclusive radio home of the Utah Mammoth is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Now it's time to hear from the head coach of the Mammoth, André Tourigny.
The cut's brought to you by Doug Smith Dealerships, Dodge, Ram, Chevrolet, Subaru, Kia in Linden, and now Mitsubishi in American Fork. It is now our privilege and our opportunity to catch up with the head coach of the Utah Mammoth live from New York. It's André Tourigny. That sounds kind of cool. How you doing, Coach?
Yes. Very good yourself.
I guess you can't say live from New York. It's Saturday night because it's Friday afternoon, but that's as close as we're going to get here. But, boy, New York's treating you guys well so far. Just wanted to start with getting your reaction to just a fantastic win. What a way to start the year with just an absolutely terrific performance against the Islanders.
Yeah, there's a lot of good in that game, because our start of the game was not what we wanted. We had a slow start, but the boys were capable of staying with it, weathering the storm. Veggie came up big, made a few big saves, and then we got the rhythm back. So for us mentally, even if we didn't have the right start, we were capable of staying in the present and rebooting and stepping up in the second half of the game, and I think that was huge for us. Our special team was really good, and we scored big goal at key moments. So that was not just the result. The performance was really good.
Hey, can you talk more about Dylan Gunther? Another hat trick last night. Just how is he just in the zone right now? 36 points on the season. He's just 20 goals on the season, but he's just grooving every single time I talk to you. It's just like he's just having another big game after big game. What type of vibe is he giving out to the rest of the team?
I think that's what is really cool about him right now is he's playing his best hockey on the defensive side of the puck as well. He's doing all the right thing. He works hard. He plays against the best every night. He matched that line with Crosser and Barrett-Ayton against the first line on the other side. So he's really performing both sides of the puck, and that pay off for him. So that's excellent for him to. He's a guy who has a really good mindset. He understands the game, not just the offensive game, the both sides of the puck. So on top of it, to be rewarded the way he is in the last stretch, I think it's really good. It's really, because he make him understand both can go together. It's not, okay, I need to play good defense, so now I don't have offense. No. You can play good defense, and you get a reward offensively as well.
How important was it for you guys to start the trip off with a performance like that? Looking back to the Nashville game, it felt like you let one get away there, that tough third period. How important was it to kind of get back on track on the road as you start this trip?
Oh, it's really important. I think, the stretch before Christmas, it was a demanding one physically, mentally. It was 21 game in 37 days, so that you have more game than you have day off, and at some point it's a little bit demanding, if you want, challenging. So when we came back after Christmas, after the break, we played a really good game against Nashville, but like you said, we'll let it slip. So okay, now we're getting in the second half. We have that trip to New York, and then we'll go back home. Now it's time for us to climb the ladder and win on a consistent base. So the game against Nashville give us a sour taste because, okay, we played well, but so what? It doesn't matter if you don't win. There's no moral victory. So I think yesterday especially with the start we had, to regroup and find a way to win the game. I think that's how we want our second half to be. It's not just you will not always play your A game from start to the end, but you need to find a way. No matter how's your performance, even if you don't play maybe the way you exactly wanted to, you need to find a way to win still.
Yeah, so tomorrow night you take on the Devils again. You get another crack at them, from that earlier loss just before Christmas.
Yep.
What is the game plan going to go into tomorrow? I know you guys are on your road trip, all the way to the East Coast isn't easy. You guys are in the New Year's mix in New York, but what is the vibe or what is the game plan going to be going against the Devils tomorrow night?
We just had a practice today. The Devils, since we played them, they have their star player, Jack Hughes, and Timo Meier are back in the lineup. So it's a team will have more jam, more skill in their lineup than last time we played them. So we owe them one. And like I said, I think in terms of performance, the way we play lately, we play really good. So now it's time to get in their building and just, like I just told you a moment ago, okay, now it's time for us to stack the win, to stack the good performance, and to find a way. So tomorrow against the Devils, for us, it will be to be stingy defensively, like we have been lately. But as well, we need to get inside. The last time we played them, we played a good game, but we were not as inside, as much traffic in front of their goalie. Markstrom has had a really good game against us. We need to make sure we take his eyes away.
It's crazy how time goes by so fast. You've already played 41 games. You mentioned it, referenced it a moment ago. You're officially halfway through the season, which is crazy because it's January 2nd. But as you look at the first half of the season, I think what you mentioned it there. You got to start stacking wins. How does a team find consistency, and what are some of those things as a head coach that you try to dial in to help a team find consistency? Because we've seen when you guys are consistent, especially earlier when you had that streak, you guys can play with anybody in this league.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you talk about consistency, if we were in depth, if we were together and I was showing you our underlying numbers, our real performance in terms of number of scoring chances we get from whatever distribution, from the rush or from the ozone play or from the forecheck, and same thing in defensively, offensively, and defensively. We are top 10 team in all of those. Across the board. We analytically wise, all our underlying number, the data, the performance is there. So we've been consistent in terms of performance. What makes the difference for us? We need to have the maturity to make the little play will make the difference. Make sure we change the right way. Make sure we manage the puck the right way. Make sure we don't get caught on the ice tired at the end of a shift and stuff like that. Because if you look at most of our game in the last, let's say, 5-6 weeks, we dominate our opponent in terms of expected goal. We have more scoring chance than they do, but we need to get one more save. We need to score one more goal. We need to be in front of the net to get that screenshot who makes the difference. Our power play needs to play like we play in the last two games or the last 2 weeks. Those kind of things will push us over the edge because we're right there in terms of performance. But now we need to play the game in the game who will make us win. Well, the little detail, the little on-man rush we will get or we won't give, that's what will make the difference. Because if you look at our game against Nashville, we play a really good game, but we change on the bad check on one, and we take a bad penalty in the third period, and now's the difference in the game. Those two play, it's something we can control. It's not a skill. It's not something it happened. We have no control. It's not a puck will bounce over your stick, which is, okay, will always happen. No. Those are things you control. You decide to change on the bad check. You decide to take a penalty in the neutral zone. That's not something it happened you had no control of. So that is what we're talking about. We need to be better at controlling those little things, right, so that will push us over the edge.
Coach, who's been an unsung hero for you guys, right? We got our names. We got the Gunthers, the Coolies, the Kellers, the Sergeys, the Veggies. Who's been an unsung hero that you've been proud of thus far this season?
First name that comes to my mind is Lawson Krause. I think leadership, physicality, focus, urgency every night. Just what I just did talk about you about doing the little thing, playing the game in the game.
Right.
Not shooting yourself. He is amazing. He is. He's been a huge leader for us and a huge inspiration for us. And he has that drive, that passion to perform every night. He really been huge for us this year.
Well, good vibes to start the new year, the 7-2 win over the Islanders, and then we get the news that Olli Maatta is going to represent Finland in the Olympics, and Clayton Keller will get to play for Team USA. After getting snubbed for the Four Nations, you had to be thrilled to hear that Clayton Keller is going to chance to be a part of Team USA at the Olympics.
Absolutely, and you know, on top of being really happy for him, he's a great guy. He's a guy I've been with for 5 years. I really like the person and the player. It's always great to witness a guy who exactly like you said, he didn't make it in the Four Nation, and he reacted the right way. He did not whine and complain. No. He just stepped up and be just even better. Won at the World Championship for USA, won the World Championship for the first time in the history. The USA won the championship, and he was the captain of that team. That was a choice he made. So he showed the kind of character he had, and we beat the drum all the time when we talk about Kels in front of you and in front of our fans to say how much determination and drive, and he's so driven to be better, to perform, to be an elite player. He is an example for everybody, and that is an exclamation point to prove it. It's not because the bell did not ring the first time, then you have to quit. It's the reverse. If you double down, good thing will happen for you. And Kels is a great example for our team, for everybody. So really happy for him.
We're just a month away from having NHL players participate in the Olympic Games. You can watch on KSL. We're excited to be able to be a part of that and to be able to have exclusive coverage of that coming up in the month of February. But this is the first time that the NHL has been part of the Olympics since 2014. Your thoughts and opinion on that? Do you like that the NHL is going to have its players be a part of this, or would you rather see guys just avoid injury and other things? I know there's probably different opinions.
No, I think it's outstanding for the game. You know, it's that will be best on best. You saw last year the Four Nation, how great was the game and how much viewer. And I think that we talk about growing the game. That's, you know, whatever when U.S. will play or Canada or Sweden, and everybody in their own country will follow their team. The passion is there, and I think that's best on best. At the biggest stage of the Olympics. Who never dreamed to be at the Olympics as a little kid? I remember when I was young following the Olympics and wanting to represent my country and carrying the flag and stuff like that. So I think that, and having the best athlete in the world competing against each other in our sports, I think that will be an outstanding window for hockey, and there's nothing better than that.
Can't wait for that. Can't wait to see you guys back on the ice against the New Jersey Devils on Saturday. Coach, it's always a treat. We can't thank you enough for doing this each and every week. I know the fans really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and good luck on the rest of this trip in New York.
Perfect. Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me, and Happy New Year to you and all our fans.
Happy New Year, Coach. Thank you. André Tourigny, head coach of the Utah Mammoth, joining us as he does each and every week right here on JJ and Alex.
Gotta love that guy. He's awesome.
Yeah.
I love when he's talking about defense turning to offense, right?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not a hockey player, but it's just great to know how many things translate in other sports.
Basketball, football, hockey, same principles.
Yeah.
Just different sports and different ways of doing it.
Exactly. And he was talking about how impressed he was of Dylan Guenther. Dylan Guenther's on fire right now. And his defense is what Coach is pointing out is helping him do all of these things offensively. It's absolutely awesome, man. So love that.
Yeah, the Utah Mammoth, they really needed that. I think we're looking around the league, and you see what Buffalo's doing. I mean, Buffalo's bad. Like that, the Sabres were awful. Guess what? They're not bad anymore. And a 10-game win streak can change everything. The Buffalo Sabres currently, with a couple of former Mammoth players on their roster, have won 10 straight games. They've gone from the bottom of the barrel in the Eastern Conference to a wild card spot currently. They're at 46 points. Yes, the Buffalo Sabres have 5 more points this year than the Utah Mammoth, the Los Angeles Kings, and the Seattle Kraken. You can turn things around. That's what's great about the NHL is if you have these guys come together under the right coach, and even a place like Buffalo that struggled for a long time, they haven't been to the playoffs in forever.
Right.
I think they have the longest streak in North American pro sports without reaching the postseason. And you even see them turning things around right now. We've seen enough from the Utah Mammoth this year to know that this is a team that should be competing at the highest level. Bill Armstrong came on our show right before the season started, and he says, are we a top 10 team in the NHL? I don't know yet. Well, the first month of the season they were. Since then, they haven't been, to be quite blunt. And Coach Tourigny just came on here, and he made his case and said, look, if you look at the analytics, we are a top 10 team. We're right there with all those other teams. What he's trying to figure out, what that group's trying to figure out is why are we letting some of these games slip away? Mm-hmm. And that's the issue with this team right now is the lack of consistency. They have a good game. You have a 7-2 game against the Islanders. What are they going to do in Newark on Saturday? You're going to build off that, or are you going to lose to the Devils? It wipes away a 7-2 game if you go and lose to New Jersey.
Right. And then make it a good effort. Make it worthwhile. Yeah. Yeah.
So you can have these moments that gets everybody excited. A hat trick by Dylan Guenther. And then you crash and burn the next game. You're like, come on, guys.
Stop riding the wave. Just trend upwards.
We've seen greatness out of this group.
Right.
And when you see greatness out of a group, the standard should raise.
Right.
The bar should be raised. And it has for this team. Coach Tourigny understands that. He's heard the criticism. It's valid. It's fair. This team is better than what they've shown since that 8-game win streak earlier in the year. That you watch that team play during that streak, you're like, this is a Stanley Cup playoff team. There's no doubt about it. And since that time, they haven't been consistent enough to be at that standard. But they are better than what they've shown, and they've got to make it consistent. Now you start the second half of the year. It's a new year, new you, right? So this Mammoth team needs to find that consistency. The talent is there. Everything's in place to be able to be a winner in this league. You got to do it every night in, night out. You can't have games like Nashville where you're up 3-2 entering the third period, and then you let it slip.
Yeah.
You can't on your home ice.
That's what championship people do. Championship teams, championship
Steven
people.
Stamkos scores 2 goals in that game. That's a guy that's won cups with the Lightning.
Finish, yeah.
But you got guys like that on your team too.
Right. Okay,
so just because that guy's a future Hall of Famer and he's a special player doesn't mean you need to slip and let him have opportunities like that. That this team's got to find that consistency. You know they have the capability, and they should be judged harshly for not finding that yet. I think the criticism is valid that this team has not been consistent, and they have to figure out why that is. They've got a +8 goal differential. They're the only team outside of the Avalanche, the Stars, and the Wild in the Western Conference with a positive goal differential of +8. They don't come anywhere near those 3 teams, but you can make an honest case right now that the Mammoth are one of the top 5 or 6 teams in the West, with one exception. Their record. Their point total is 41. They have a better goal differential than the Edmonton Oilers, the Vegas Golden Knights, and the Anaheim Ducks. But all 3 of those teams are at 45 points or higher on the season. Those teams have negative goal differentials. But they have found a way to win a lot of those games, even though they don't have that type. The Mammoth have been absolutely awesome one night and then the next. Can't have that. Because what do you have when you do that? A 500 record.
And you miss the playoffs.
They're 19-19-3 for 41 points. And guess what that's going to give you? Yes, Sly. Another year where you're sitting there watching the Stanley Cup
You're right
playoffs.
on the border. You're like, dang, we should have been in there. If we would have
did that. Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Woulda, coulda, shoulda.
What if we would have finished that game against Nashville right before the new year?
Right.
That's 2 points we missed there.
Right.
Look, we can make the list. We know. We've seen this team have so many opportunities, and it's a new year. I want to see this team get hot. Now, a thing about you're looking at their schedule and what they've been through. This is a team that's had a very road-heavy schedule. Not only have they 41 games this year, they've been on the road a lot. That's going to ease up. So in the month of January, they're home a lot. So they have these 2 games to finish this trip, Sly.
Oh, I got to go to a game. Okay.
It's time.
Yeah.
And if any of you are listening and you want to go to a game, and let me throw out some of these teams they're playing, you're definitely going to want to go. So when they get back from New York, and if they're able to sweep this trip, then
they'll propel us to have a really good January.
Then you come back home for some home cooking. This is where this team needs to find themselves. And I know Logan Cooley's out of the lineup and will be probably until after the Olympics. But this is an opportunity. Look at the schedule. You get home from New York, you've got Ottawa, St. Louis, Columbus. The Toronto Maple Leafs are here on January 13th. One of those games you want to get tickets for. The Dallas Stars, a team that's owned them, they got to break that. They got to beat the Stars. That's on the 15th. Then Seattle's here, then Philadelphia. The Flyers are in town on the 21st. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 straight home games coming off of this trip. Get hot right now. Finish this trip 3-0. Last year they went into New York and they won 2 of 3. You just won 7-2, okay? You just beat the Islanders, who are good. That's a good hockey team. You whipped them 7-2. Get hot right now. It's time for this team to get hot. If the Buffalo Sabres can win 10 straight,
right?
Why can't you, right. Utah Mammoth? This is your opportunity. This is your window right now to catch fire before the Olympic break comes up.
Oh yeah, that's
1 month from now.
An exciting.
So after that homestand, you got 4 straight on the road: Nashville, Tampa Bay, Florida, Carolina, the Southern trip. But then you come home for Dallas, Vancouver, and Detroit before the Olympic break. And I know those are challenging games. Well, Vancouver's not, but Dallas and Detroit are challenging games. But this is your moment. January should be your time where you're home, you're rested, you're comfortable, and you're in a rhythm. The Utah Mammoth need to stack W's in the month of January. The month of January will make or break their Stanley Cup playoff hopes, because if they continue on this one good game, one bad game path throughout the entire month of January, this team ain't good enough. Right. And then things, get dicey for a lot of people, and that's when you start talking about, do changes need to be made? Because it's clear this team is good enough to be in the Stanley Cup playoff. Now is the time to prove it. You had a tough schedule in November and December. We're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. January, it's put up or shut up.
Right.
The schedule's in your favor. You're going to be home. Get it done in the month of January.
If you go ham, you got 4 games the entire month of February. I would just lay it all on the line and get as many wins as you can this month of January, because you got a big rest month because of that Olympic break in February. And so get as many as you can in now. This is a perfect opportunity. And then go on a run. You go on a run in March, man, you are going to be prime and in the right position. But you got to set yourself up here, and you get a good break. And this is a perfect schedule setup for the Mammoth. They got to do it. We got a big home month, so I can't wait. I'm going to try to attend multiple games this month. But the Mammoth got to make it happen. This is going to be a great month for them.
Yeah, this is the time. To your point, it's home heavy. Now, you go all in on this part of your schedule. You get hot here, and you go into the break, the Olympic break. Like you've won, I didn't count up the number of games here, but 12 of 14 games, right? Like you're just on fire. Guess what happens when you get back from the Olympics? Logan Cooley will be back, and you've got this huge run you went on in January that puts you in position to finish strong. Got to do it though. Enough talk. This team needs to go out and be more consistent. And André Tourigny just talked about that. They've got, analytic-wise, on paper, they're outstanding. I just mentioned the goal differential. They have a goal differential that only the elite teams in the NHL have. Why are you at 500 when you've been that good? You got to show up in January. It's time for this team to get it going. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, Nick Saban thinks he can fix college football. I think he's got some ideas too. And one of the biggest problems is something he addresses and that we're going to talk about next on how you fix college football. It's coming up next on JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Accessing.
When TV and radio collide.
Love it.
Wow. This is what you get. You're listening to JJ and Alex.
Don't touch that dial.
On 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone on a Friday right after the holidays. If you're working like us, kind of cruel, right, to ask to come in after all the holidays. But you got to get back to work eventually. And we're happy to be here because there's so much going on right now. My goodness, what a whirlwind of a week here locally. The Utah sports scene has been no sleep. My goodness. You just got back from Vegas.
Oh.
So you had a good time, I'm sure.
I'm working the whole time. I didn't get to see it. Well, family actually came up to my pop-up event, so that was great.
Oh, that's cool.
So I got to see some high school people, and all my Vegas people came through. So that was good. But, yeah, I've been working, and as soon as the game ends, we'd clean up and get right on the charter. So little busy.
No days off.
No, and it's the warden's birthday yesterday too.
Oh,
so it's the
happy birthday.
Warden's birthday weekend, and so yeah.
We want to, on behalf of JJ and Alex, we want to wish the warden a happy birthday.
Yes. Happy birthday to the warden. She keeps me working. You know, a honey-do list never, ever ends.
Even on the holidays.
Oh, what holidays? Whip it. Oh, my gosh. It's so funny. But no, it's been good, man. The holidays were great, and now we're into January.
Yeah, and we're here to solve the world's problems. That's what we do here on JJ and Alex. We got ideas, or we play other people's ideas. Nick Saban has ideas about how to fix college football. I want to play this, and Sly, I want to get your reaction after you hear what he has to say. Nick Saban was asked by the College Game Day staff what needs to happen, because look, the game is fun. We're watching it like we've never watched it before. We mentioned there's like 8.7 million people watch BYU and Georgia Tech in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. So it's not like we're going to stop watching. But there's clearly some issues with the game right now in this modern post-NIL transfer portal world we're living in that need to be fixed. And Nick Saban has some ideas.
We need to change the calendar. Chaos in college football starts tomorrow. The portal opens. So what happens if Ole Miss wins and Oregon wins? So Oregon's got two coordinators trying to take guys from their team to their team and guys from other teams to their team. Yep. And Ole Miss has got 6 coaches going to LSU trying to take guys to LSU from their team, but they got to play a game. Right. So bad. Now, is that chaos or is that chaos?
Yeah,
so
totally.
This whole college football calendar needs to change. That would be my New Year's resolution.
But I've heard that. Besides you, who do we go to with that?
Well, I don't think there's anybody in authority in college football except the conference commissioners. Right. So if they can't get together on it,
well, they won't.
You're going to have a problem. Yeah. But everybody's going to be sort of having their own self-interest, you know, in mind.
Own agenda.
Yeah. But unless they make the portal in May, which I've said before, to kind of match up with the academic calendar, change spring practice till after that, so that you can get your team together and work over the summer, just like an NFL team does. They don't have their team together until after the draft, after free agency. It's May. So do the same thing in college football, and you wouldn't have these issues with coaches changing jobs because everybody could finish the season with their team, which is what's best for the players.
That's right.
That's number one, because there'd be no hurry, because now there's a hurry because all these recruiting you know, the calendar is hurry up and get a coach, or you can't take advantage of an early signing date, and you can't take advantage of the portal.
Sly, your thoughts on what Nick Saban's talking about with the calendar?
1,000, and I love that he's retired now, so he can say whatever the heck he wants and exactly how he feels, because he's talking one from the perspective of now being a fan and being watching this, and then also his effects of what he was feeling as a coach, right? And you know, he's a guy who's implementing a great coaching tree. How many guys have been from Nick Saban's coaching tree, right? And so guys leaving, you're trying to establish yourself, right? We were just talking about Coach Whittingham going to Michigan, right? The season's not over. He's having those contract talks with Jay Hill, with Beck, and all this before they played their bowl game. Right. Coach Beck told the team that he was leaving right after the game. That means that conversation was had well before. Right? And so Coach Saban is speaking truth right there. He is preaching. And look, We just talked about it when we opened it. We were talking about how this has become a professional model, right? Semi-professional, whatever you want to call it. It is a professional model. You need to have everything else under that same professional model, right? The professional rankings have a certain time period where all of these transactions can happen. From coaching conversations, you cannot talk to a coach until a certain time in the offseason, right? Which is right after the Super Bowl or right after the season or something where you can have those conversations. But I agree wholeheartedly with him. There is so much, like I was just reading something in the break talking about the Ole Miss D tackle, talking about Lane Kiffin, right? And how Lane Kiffin, he's a fake and he was trying to demoralize his team and he's out there for publicity stunts and trying to ruin us. But we've actually come together now that he's gone and we actually have a real coach. Like you can just see the effects of all of this stuff happening to a team. Right? The JMU guys getting new jobs, the Tulane guys getting new jobs as they're getting ready for the CFP stuff. As much as they talked about it not being a distraction, it is a distraction.
100%, yeah.
And so, I think he's speaking 1,000% truth, and I agree with him. I just hate that these guys know this. I don't think Nick Saban is saying anything groundbreaking, right? They know this. Why is it taking so long to implement these things?
Because there's no authority. The NCAA has been sued.
Yeah, you're correct.
Their pants have been sued off. I can't think of a better way to describe it.
Who do we talk to?
So the NCAA is afraid to do anything. There's no commissioner of college football. You know who's in charge? Two entities. Number one, the TV networks. Number two, the commissioners of the Big Ten and the SEC. Don't for 1 minute think that Brett Yormark's in charge of anything other than the Big 12. He does.
He puts up a good fight, though. I like Brett, but he puts up a good fight.
Yeah, but does the Big 12 honestly have a voice?
No.
Does the ACC have a voice?
No.
Okay, so who's in charge?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame has some power. Notre Dame has some power, but not as much as they think either.
Right.
As they just found out. It's the commissioner of the Big Ten, it's the commissioner of the SEC, and it's the TV networks. So how are you going to regulate those? You're not. Now, Nick Saban says he thinks Congress needs to get involved. Ugh. That's where I'm like, ugh. Do we really think the government knows how to fix this too?
Of all people?
No, but we got some issues here. And in order to get real change, I think you do have to have a commissioner. And you do have to have some kind of governing body that has power. But not the NCAA, a governing power that doesn't have a special interest. Like the NCAA had a special interest. They had their own power they were lording over. The SEC commissioner has his own special interest. The Big Ten commissioner has his special interest. Coaches and players have their special interest. You need an entity over college football whose special interest is the integrity and sanctity of the game.
Yeah.
And the brand of college football.
Right.
And protecting that. Why is the NFL so successful?
Because they're one unit.
Protect the shield.
They're one. They're not that many voices. They have a governing power, which ultimately is one person, Goodell, the commissioner, because everything
he works for 32 owners.
Right, but there's that one voice.
Yes.
It's not 50 million voices that people say like, yeah, you have a voice and you have no. Look, there's an arbitrator. There is a guy who makes the decisions ultimately, right? It's why
they negotiate with the NFLPA, which is all the players,
right.
And if they can't come to an agreement, then
there's
so
a
be
stalemate.
it.
But there's still this reason why you go into business is 51-49. It's never 50-50.
Right.
Right? Because you need somebody to be able to make the decision at the end of the day. And that is where the NFL and these professional leagues are. The NCAA is I don't know how many times we've said it's the wild, wild west.
It's chaos.
It is chaos. And that's the simple word that everybody is consistently using these last few years. It's disgusting. And it gets worse and worse every year. You think like it couldn't get any worse. And it does. You're like, what are these kids doing? What are these coaches doing? What are these universities doing?
Yeah.
I am bewildered and shocked every single time because I'm just like, how in the heck did we get to this point? How is this not prevented? How did you let this? It's been so asinine that you think that it's not possible for them to do, and it happens anyway. How?
Anytime there's an extreme, the pendulum will swing the other way. So the extreme in college football for a long time was the NCAA having too much power.
Right.
I mean, guys becoming ineligible for eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay? That's pretty far on that other side. When these players that can't have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich are making that same institution and the NCAA and everybody else involved millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So a wrong was righted. The players now can get NIL. The players can now benefit from their work, which is, it's ridiculous and downright immoral that they weren't for a long time, right? We all agree with that. Change needed to happen. But it swung the complete other way, where it's the wild, wild west, and you don't know who's playing for one school 1 week after the next. We just talked about the portal opening up today, and these Utah players that are some of the best Utes are in the transfer portal. Why? They have all their own reasons, but 10 years ago, there's no reason for those players to leave.
No reason.
You're building legacy. You're a part of a program. You're getting a degree. All that stuff doesn't matter anymore. Right. It's about how much money can I get in the transfer portal, or can I go jump and follow my coach to whatever school he's going to next? It's musical chairs. It's wild and crazy. We just talked about Sam Levitt. Reports aren't confirmed, but it looks like he's going to land somewhere in the SEC. Why? What are we doing here? How many schools is this? All these players are going to bounce around. That's not healthy either. So someone has to come in here and find the middle ground. And I'm glad Nick Saban, like you said, I'm glad Nick Saban is saying it out loud, that everything needs reform. The problem is, who's going to reform it? And are the people currently in power willing to give up a little bit of that power for the benefit of the game?
That is the question, because I'm like, who is going to approve this? Right? Which organization is going to say we got to get behind it? You think the players are going to want to get behind somebody giving them more structure?
They don't want to give the power back.
They don't want structure.
They don't want to give up the money.
They want Sam Levitt going to Kentucky for $5 million and not having to.
They're all high-fiving him, yeah. I guarantee you, next time they're at media days.
I want to go to Vegas and drop $1,000 hands on blackjack.
Well done, bro.
Like it's nothing.
Way to work the portal, bro.
At 18 years old.
I respect his game. What's the middle ground? Who's going to establish it? Because the health of the game moving forward depends on it. Look, we're still going to watch. We still are. But there are some real problems in this game, and there's a lot of people that are being hurt by it. Look, how many high school players right now have no chance to play Division I football because they're not getting looked at? That's
a shame.
These schools, I guarantee you, unless you got a 4-star next to your name, I don't care. I'm in the portal, baby. Yeah. They don't want to have to go travel around the country and watch a bunch of high school games and sit in some parent's living room. They want to just log into the portal, say, yeah, I know who that is. Right. How much money do we have to throw his way? I mean, Oregon and all these programs are running around with blank checks.
Right.
They don't have to go evaluate film and build relationships and win over mom and go have dinner with the family, and those days are over.
Well, the problem is the winning over moms is the same conversation now. Normally the kids had a different.
It's easy to win over mom with a big check.
Exactly. How much can you pay my son, a.k.a. us?
Yeah.
Right? And so, yeah, it's just, it sucks because that's what Coach Whittingham was talking about. He's like, going into these living rooms anymore, it's not even just the kids saying it. It's the parents, too. Just like, so how much can you give us? That's the conversations that are had now. So, I mean, that's why I'm telling fans and whatever, it's not the same football we used to know. And once you accept that and move forward and try to understand what the new game is, just be open with what the new game is, that's how we can push forward. But we sitting over here asking, like, why do they do this? Why do they do this? You'll never know. You'll never understand. And it is business. There is zero emotion that should be a part of this game anymore.
We've got to get back to this middle ground where the players can be compensated appropriately, where coaches don't quit on their team after game 12,
right?
With staffs and all this stuff shuffling through. We don't need multiple portal windows. There needs to be a structure in place, and Nick Saban is absolutely dead on. The calendar must be fixed. The problem is we have no idea who's going to fix it. And as long as the powers that be like things the way they are because they're rolling in dough, no change is going to happen.
Yeah, how does Lane Kiffin jump in the portal at 11-1?
It's a joke. It's stupid.
You are in the top conference, and you're leading that conference. You have one loss on your entire record.
And you've built something special
You
at Ole
built
Miss, and you're
something
going to
special.
walk away from that to
You got
what?
a first-round draft pick last year.
To what? Why?
Money, of
Prestige.
course.
Oh, man, I'm
But-
the head coach at LSU
but
now.
that
Look at
is-
me.
Yeah,
Look at me. That's all I get it.
yeah. I don't know. It is crazy, but like nothing makes sense, and that's what I've taken from it. I was like, I've stopped trying to make sense of this stuff because it doesn't. The morality that we used to understand and think that people have is out of the window. It is pure, I am taking care of thyself, and that's the bottom line. Coaching staff, players, and now universities. And you know what the crap, I tell you, man, I wanted to know. I've said this 2 years ago. I was like, I want to know the 30 for 30s that are going to come out in 2027. From all of these stories, from people being butt naked on the streets because they thought they would make it in the portal and nobody got picked up. And now you don't have an education anymore. And this is what's crazy, too. Is like these universities are so much in debt now because of all this NIL stuff, right? Like, and they're still giving out full ride scholarships. You're still paying for these kids' school.
Yeah.
They don't care about school. Nobody's talking about school. They don't even go to school anymore. Everything's online, and they're having some chick they paid $200 after they signed for $2 million. They pay some chick $200. Hey, take care of my class for me. To struggling college kids, take care of my class for me. Do the exact same stuff that you're doing, and we're good, right? We're good. Take the student.
Do they check and see if kids are going to class? Are they checking their
Take
eligibility?
the student out. This is a farm league. This is purely semi-pro.
They're employees now.
How
They're not
are you
students.
paying somebody $2 million plus and paying for their education that they don't care about? These literally the universities are just forking it out. Universities, aka the community, aka you guys that are donating to this university. Where's the ROI? That's the bottom line, and that's what these private equity firms are going to correct. They're going to self-correct that. Please believe, if anybody cares about business and the bottom line, it's these PE firms.
Uh-huh.
So, change is going to come.
ROI.
Is it going to be what you want or what? It's going to come. Be ready for it. Stop trying to understand it. Just adjust.
All I know is there's got to be a correction. There's got to be some way to get back to the middle. And Nick Saban has some pretty good ideas. Maybe he should be the commissioner.
I like that. He don't put up with no stuff. I like him.
That's what this game needs right now is some organization, some structure, and a new calendar. All right, when we come back, it's a bowl version of the top 10. Let's see how Alex and Sly do on their knowledge of bowl games and bowl history. Coming up next on JJ and Alex, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The biggest name.
You're locked into JJ and Alex. With the insight and analysis on the teams you can't live without. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
It's nice to start the new year with a little yacht rock. It's a good vibe.
You can do this all year.
I mean, you got your Sunglasses at Night by Corey Hart as your soundtrack. That's from before you even born in 1983.
Hey, man, that is just because I wasn't born doesn't mean they didn't make good music.
Exactly. So, Sly, make a little room in your life soundtrack for some yacht rock.
Oh,
You'll
yeah.
thank me later.
Oh, it's already there. I'm there
Well,
all day,
Michael
man.
McDonald. It's a good vibe.
Yeah. He made some good tracks. That's
All
for
right.
sure.
It's time for the top 10. And got to do a bowl theme here because bowl season's almost over. So I gotta sneak this in before bowl season's over. Annapolis, I'm going to test your bowl knowledge. And this is not hard. This is really not hard. So consider this a New Year's gift to both of you that I won't completely embarrass you live on the radio. But I'm going to ask you to name the 10 winningest college football programs in bowl games. What 10 FBS programs have won more bowl games than everybody else? You guys ready?
More bowl games?
Most wins all time, from number 1 to number 10.
All right, and this is not just Division One. This could be.
This is FBS. This is Division 1. This is FBS. Bowl games, all time.
All right, let's go.
So Weber State's not eligible here, so you don't have to worry about that. They're not on the list. Okay.
They were going to be my first guess.
Excited about what Weber State's doing, by the way. Coach Kerr's got a good thing going there. Some great assistant staff hires and talent. All right, let's go. Start the counter. When you're ready, go.
Miami, Texas.
No Miami.
Notre Dame.
Texas is a ding. Notre Dame.
Georgia.
No.
Alabama. Utah.
Georgia, ding. Alabama, ding. Utah, no.
UCLA. USC.
USC, ding.
Michigan.
No.
Ohio State.
Ding.
Let's go Tennessee.
Ding.
What about Illinois, Texas A&M?
No, did both of those.
Oklahoma.
Ding.
Oklahoma's
yeah, you got
on
it.
there.
Yep.
Oregon.
No Oregon. They were bad forever. People forget.
Western Kentucky.
Western Kentucky. The Hilltoppers did not make the top 10. These are doing pretty good. Annapolis isn't helping you out much.
What about Rutgers?
No Rutgers.
Maryland.
Rutgers sucks. Maryland, too.
No, not North
These are all
Carolina.
blue bloods, so
Yeah.
it wasn't a tough
Oh,
list.
they're all blue blood. I didn't say Florida State.
Oh, it was after the buzzer.
I should get a mulligan because Annapolis was quiet.
We're gonna go to the booth. We're gonna go to the booth. The
did say
replay
Michigan.
says
Did say Michigan.
no good. No good. It was after the buzzer. Florida State actually comes in at number 10. So I'll read them from 10 to 1. Now, barely missing the cut. You'd never guess who barely misses the cut. It is a SEC team, but not one of the most successful. I didn't even realize they'd been to this many bowl games, but it's Ole Miss with 28 wins at number 11, just edging Nebraska and Clemson, which are tied for 11th. So Nebraska and Clemson not in the top 10, which may surprise a lot of people. So Florida State is 10th all-time in bowl wins with 29. Their bowl record is 29-18-2. Yes, 2 ties in bowl games. Glad we don't do that anymore. Number 9, Ohio State, whose bowl record is 500. 30-30.
500?
Ohio State's bowl record
you're telling
is
me
500.
The 9th and the 10th, is that big of a difference?
No, their record's 30-30. Like they've won half their bowl games.
They're 500. I thought you said 500 wins.
So Ohio State historically,
is that possible?
Ohio
500
State,
years?
no, 30 wins, 30 losses.
Okay, 30-30. Okay, okay.
Ohio State historically,
My bad.
mid in bowl games. They've won 30, they've lost 30. So the other teams on this list all have winning records in bowl games. LSU comes in at number 8. They have a 55% win percentage, 31-25-1. Tennessee, number 7. Oklahoma, also with 31 wins. So Oklahoma, Tennessee, and LSU all with 31 wins. But organized by winning percentage, that's how it comes out. LSU's actually on the top of that. So Oklahoma, Tennessee, LSU all tied with 31. Penn State.
How did I not say Penn State?
Comes in at number 5. I think that was one of the few you missed and didn't mention.
Yeah,
Penn
I didn't
State
mention that.
has played in 57 bowl games.
Wow.
34-21-2 during that time.
That's a great record.
They have a winning percentage over 600. Texas comes in at number 4, 34-27-2. USC is number 3, 36-21 bowl record, which is outstanding. It's one of the highest winning percentages among the blue bloods, among those that have played this many bowl games. USC's won a lot of bowl games. Didn't win this year, though, did they? Enjoyed every second of that. Georgia's number 2, 38-23-3 record all time, 64 bowl games played, and coming in at number 1 in both wins and bowl games played. Alabama, 46 wins, 30 losses, 3 ties. They've played in 78 bowl games. They've won 60% of those bowl games, but not this year. Enjoyed every second of that too.
I got 7.
Can you believe Indiana absolutely crushing their souls?
Oh my gosh, that was an obliteration.
Wow.
That was an obliteration. And it would rain for 3 days straight in California?
Yeah. Who's beating Indiana?
I don't know. I
never thought in my lifetime I would say this, but I think Indiana's clearly, easily the best team in the country.
The way they beat Ohio State in the
They've already
Big Ten
beat
championship.
Oregon at Autzen.
They beat Oregon already handily.
And then who are you playing in the championship game?
Miami
or Ole Miss? Indiana's going to win a national championship.
How
folks.
about that? In 2 years.
It's a crazy story. Kurt Signetti is
Hey, I win, baby. He got 2 losses in 2 years. That is well done.
Pretty crazy.
Two more wins than he got as Natty. How about that?
It's one of the most phenomenal stories. And without a 12-team playoff, without the transfer portal, without NIL and all these things, this wouldn't be possible. So while we talked about a lot of the negative things about the change in college football, this is the positive change. Is a program like Indiana, when you hire the right people and you do the right things, you can become great. Why not BYU? Why not Utah? Indiana did it.
Yeah.
Nobody has excuses anymore.
Right.
Just you don't have to be Alabama.
They did it in a year.
You don't have to be Georgia.
That jump in a year. And look, there's only one SEC team left.
Yeah.
That's great. That's
and the only reason they're left is because they beat an SEC team.
I like that. Cannibalize yourselves like everybody else has done all these years. Love that. I love that narrative more than all the rest. Is that there's only one SEC team that's even possible.
I know. It's been that part of it is fun for me.
And it's not a traditional SEC, Georgia, Alabama,
it's Ole Miss.
Yes.
Who's really never been there before, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So many narratives going on with college football, so many stories, including Indiana and others. And of course, we want to get a lot into this. You know, Kyle Whittingham of Michigan, the future of BYU and Utah. Pete Futak, a friend of the program, will join us next. He covers National League college football for the College Football News. We'll get to hear his takes on all this stuff coming up next on JJ and Alex 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.